So there's some good points that are made on this issue.
Sir, would you, I probably screwed up your name pretty badly.
Actually, no, you got it correct.
Okay.
Eigner. Although the German faction would say Eigner, the French would say Eigner.
Okay, thank you.
There's some complex points to this issue. I think one, the not the least of which is potential federal tax ramifications in terms of your allowance that you get to do with what you will in terms of highway funding and other things. And I do think perhaps that those should be under consideration, because should those be removed, there need to be a net in place to replace those services or have an idea of how to deal with those deficiencies. With that being said, with all due respect, this is a liberty issue. This is a constitutional issue. This is a freedom issue. And this is, in fact, a free market issue. It is a business issue. It is a jobs issue. It is a tax revenue issue. Now, granted, I think the $60 million that the number's been thrown around, I think that's soft in terms of the impact it will have. I think Terry McKeter makes a good point in some of the numbers that he points out in terms of we don't really spend this much police effort, therefore money, on pursuing marijuana cases. And I think there's some reality to that. But I will say this, Colorado and Colorado Springs right now is hurting for viable business, viable small businesses and jobs. The gentlemen that I know, the women that I know that participate right now in these kinds of businesses produce good paying jobs, and they spend money. They invest in real estate in this area. They increase Home Depot's monies. They increase the state monies. You know, I'm understanding you guys are getting 70 to 80K a month in revenue from these. Those are monies that we can use right now. Marijuana has literally kept the lights on in the parks and helped trash get removed. You know, we talk about here the treatment costs versus alcohol costs. You want to talk about a gateway drug? Let's talk about legal prescriptions and Percocets and how that's what leads to heroin, not marijuana. You want to talk about business impact? These are people that are buying cars at your dealerships. These are people that are paying family insurance or American Family Insurance, large premiums. These are guys that are investing what's in other businesses here. They might take the money that they're making from marijuana and invest it into a machine shop. What I'm trying to say is this helps the wheels of our local economy spin, and our local economy's wheels need to spin right now because we're not going anywhere, guys. Colorado Springs loses some of the people with the most potential in this town because there's a very real glass ceiling in terms of what we can do here. If you're not in defense, basically you're limited to a $10 to $20 an hour wage job, which is honestly kind of a crappy job. You know, if you look at the kind of opportunities that are here compared to the opportunities that are in Boulder, that are in Denver, we can use every little bit of ounce of help that we can get to help make this place thrive. And if we can create an actual free market and not worry about what our daddy, the federal government, is going to give us as an allowance as long as we stay good and think about what's actually better for the local community, we might be able to offset those costs. And I would like you guys to take that into consideration and look at the economic analysis of what this could do to our city, not just as a whole. And I understand, I'm not sitting here talking about the 60 million. I'm not talking about, hey, this is going to save the cops all this free time. What I'm saying is this could bring us jobs that we need. And that's something I wish you guys would consider. Thank you.